some really cool shirts, which actually we've been wearing them. Not right now. I think Jukes does have one on, but you'll be able to check out so much stuff. Yeah, check out that still Brain Rot. I mean, Brain Rot Royale. I've been playing it. I think I got to level 7. I've seen people being able to get to level 11. I gotta grind some more.
Wow, 7.7.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes. Gotta keep it on brand, baby. Now that's it. I'm not gonna be playing it anymore. But S2G, Jukes.
Bro.
My goodness.
Oh, dude, that double hovercraft play right there at the end was absolutely insane. They were able to take out Aula in a very nice way. And then just, I like to see that they kept one player there, right by the water, behind the hovercraft, just in case. And he was able to clutch it up at the end and get that chicken dinner. Finally, an S2G win, and nice and early.
Yeah, really, really nice. And the momentum they were able to pick up on after, getting those hovercrafts. Very quick side note here while we're on this fight. 4 Thrives are looking, I hate to say it, very shaky. I don't know what happened because group stage, they were looking really, really solid, just not able to get that win. Here, the splits are kind of off. They're pushing one by one. They're not really communicating, it feels like. So the last 2 games, I've not been super impressed with them, but hopefully that changes in the next game.
And for 4 Thrives, I felt like you took him way too long, Niptura, to engage the fight there with Hora, just coexisting for too long, and No Fear came in clutch with that 1 versus 2.
He really did, and he continued to come in clutch for a lot of the game. Actually, he was a big part of the team this game.
Yeah, I just think he just made a big play. I mean, what can you do against that? When No Fear comes up and clutches it up, I mean, Aura fans are screaming these guys' names at the top of their lungs, and to be able to clutch it up like that is just huge. So yeah, unfortunate for 4 Thrives, huge for No Fear.
Another team that has been performing quite well today when we talk about eliminations has been none other than Nongshim Lace. This was the biggest feedback that we gave this squad during groups and also survival, and they're finally starting to put up those eliminations. As you can see, Nongshim Red Force right now with 9.
Yeah, absolutely, 7. I mean, they're finding important fights on their rotation to solidify that position, especially on that northern side. They were able to sort of catch Furia off guard. And now I do want to kind of segue into Furia and to why I need to highlight this. But one of our most aggressive playstyle teams is prioritizing the rotate on Rondo. We actually saw them grab utility, move into zone, and Max actually made a good point about this when NGX was sort of on the, I think it was the eastern side next to E Arena. Furia should have just pushed them into it, caused that fight. They would have had control over that whole entire side because they just sort of stopped the revive from Ulf. Then again, on this map, they found themselves in the position, and Nongshim, from the northern side, just obliterated their defense. This is just unusual for Furia. They are the power play team. They're the ones that get in a goddamn vehicle and shooting out the window and making that position them. It's just unusual.
They're right. They are supposed to be that aggressive team, and they're currently not showcasing that in the opposite, like you just mentioned, and I was mentioning too. Nongshim is putting up those eliminations, but something happened at the end of that last game. With the hovercrafts and S2G, that was a little bit sketchy, Net.
It was a little bit, it was a bit touch and go here, but the momentum they've been able to build with these hovercrafts, they had 2 or 3 and they just went, let's go for it. And it's this replay that I want to talk about here, because look how they're going to play this. It's like my driving. First of all, Secondly, look how they take that first hovercraft and they deny the sightlines of Aula, right? They separate them one by one. They can no longer play as a duo. They try and get as many of those sightlines abolished as possible with those hovercrafts. And to be honest, S2G with those hovercrafts have been actually insane. It feels like because they take more damage to explode and they have just a tank, and so they are able to just run with it. They were making crazy rotations from the very beginning of the game. They had those positions on the rocks in the middle of the water, which are normally inaccessible, but having 2 hovercrafts, I wonder if other teams are going to start picking up on that, because that was an insane game from S2G.
I mean, we've seen it happen in the past too, and you just sounded like Max there for a second. I have to double check to make sure it was Michael Natura Jackson or if it was Max, man, but we're looking at the overall ranking here. Nick McGalaxy is currently in first place with those 26 points. Aurora, top. What happened at the top of that bridge? That man ended up falling down, and he actually ended up hurting Aurora with the rotation that they were looking to do into the main island.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate there. I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you're trying to be able to get into that end game and make those plays, and if you're Aurora, you know, 24 points on the board, you can't shake your head at. You know, and S2G being able to get that win, push themselves up to 3rd place. You know, I like what we were talking about there about Nongström a little bit earlier, right?
Hey, just look at the elements.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. 18 eliminations, and they would have gotten even more if it wasn't for those clutch plays from Vitality right there.
Yeah.
Because
Vitality.
we saw absolute Hyunbin in action, making some serious plays. But hey, again, super clutch moments here.
We have to talk about some of these other teams that are currently on the second page. I know it is the first day of PMWC at EWC 26 finals. It's only 2 games, but there is some things that we're starting to notice here, especially with 4 Thrives, the passioners that you were kind of talking about earlier, Neptura, as well as OG. OG needs to start being a little bit more aggressive and making sure that they look a bit more cohesive when you are being aggressive, because they were pushing one by one. It seems like a chicken without its head.
Yeah, it really did. And also they're losing players very, very early on. I think we've had that in both games now where they're at least losing at least 1 or 2 of their players. Godlike have had a better opportunity to keep their players alive. They've been split up a little bit more. They've been using a little bit more of the zone, but it's just when they actually get down to the fight towards the end game, that's where they start to falter. And that's why we're not seeing those strategies convert into points. So that's what we need to see there.
And India, if I have learned anything about OG, it is they need their 3rd game. So don't count them out yet. I've learned my lesson. Don't you stress. Orangutan in their 3rd match, what they tend to do is actually prioritize just kind of scoping what the rest of the teams are doing, making their game plan. Game 3, 4 is where they set their sights on fire.
Oh, I like that one. Now this is the group of death.
Woo!
This is the group of death, and this does feel like a finals right now with the way that some of these teams are playing. One man that I know is happy because he ended up picking that team that was in the top 3 here, none other than Team Flash. Maxman is looking to make sure he reverses curse, so let's send it over to Maxman in Calaris.
Well, we're not going to let him do any predictions here. That would be very, very serious indeed. But of course, we take a look at how things have gone down so far here in these 2 games. And we did have an interview just with Ralph, who's also a little bit confused about said hot drop.
I saw the hot drop that could happen on the map before this event. I'm like, they're not going to go for it because Nigma Galaxy has been dropping in Pachinki before I was even born. And yet, a team is trying to contest it away from them. And as he said, they're going for the hot drop, but they're not fighting and very confused. And they just see the loot truck pass by like, oh, my P90. No P90. Oh. So, Ida, I might want to change that because it's not helping you out.
I think it's going to be difficult for them to go up against that, but we will see if it continues. Ralph is also a little bit confused. Let's pivot kind of where we're at here as well. They've already alluded to it on the desk and how things have gone down so far for S2G, but just masterful control of the double hovercraft, some crazy plays, and the send out of Kamikaze to be able to make that work. For S2G, that was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's just a domain expansion double hovercraft. I'm sure you get that reference right there, Calaris. But no, great use of it, especially you saw there in the during a little bit of a replay analysis where they block out the line of sight of one of the players of Alula to really separate them and win the fight off the back of that. When you're near the water, when you have these open-ended finish, hovercraft are, I'm gonna have to say it, they're completely broken, and S2G made full use of it until the very end of that game.
A tough circle though, right? If you think about where Aurora was when it comes to the bridge as well, we're having kind of conversations in the back about this is a military island kind of heavy team, and yet the bridge seems like a conundrum to them that can't solve like a Rubik's Cube.
It was a bit weird, especially because Top was on top of the bridge itself. And I think the player 4 Thrive's got an angle onto him, so he goes down, kind of drops to his death at that point, right? And then the team tries to go and back up and hopefully get him back up on his 2 feet. But then Al-Ula were very sneaky, pushing right behind them on the bridge. I think Aurora, they're very experienced on that western bridge. We should be expecting more on the finish like this. So, you know what? First Durangle, it's fine. But the next Durangle, they need to show up.
All right, well, thank you very much, Maxman. It is time to head on over to the commentator team once again for game number 3 of the finals. Let's do it.
There we go, we'll pick up that throw. Thank you very much, James. There's a good arc on that one. Swift, great elbow on you. You can tell he used to be a drummer, but we'll be beating the drums of absolute anticipation and excitement here, Blank, as our 3rd game of the day is about to get underway.
Yeah, national gods as well as we get into this game, because it is going to be a lot to talk about going so far. I mean, even from watching the desk, to watching the stage hits, to watching the interviews, there's a lot to break down over the last match, and even just the 2 games we've had so far. There's been a lot going on. 4 tries on the first game, and having a little bit of a misstep, and then coming to the second one, looking a lot better. But so many good teams. I'm very confident to say this is about as competitive as it gets in PUBG Mobile right now. I think we have the right teams here with us. We go into our third match of the day as we get towards our halfway point. Shooting range to start off down towards Novo. Straight through the center, really easy one here, Jackie, very nice. I think most people can get exactly where they need to go. Aurora, last game, like you said before, looked a little bit weakened, right? I mean, even Max picked up on it. He was saying that, hey, as the team's very experienced around this area of the map, should not be going down so early like this. It should be a game that you are a bit more in control of. And it wasn't the case here. Tiamba, they go out early. Stand a little bit further down towards the south side of the map on the west.
Yeah, you'd hope they'd be able to bounce back from that one here. Obviously, it was a nice start of game one, but that didn't really translate over. Has meant there was a little bit more fluctuation in the standings, obviously for Tiamba as well. Far quieter, it was 16 eliminations on their opening game of Rondo, only 2 added to that count. See Milu still living his movie though in terms of individual plays, as he was popping off on Rondo. It was a big piece of the team. I do wonder if we'll have something early here from Hora and Aurora. And where's that zone gonna go? We've had some wacky zones this LAN. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, most circles have just been very strange so far, very odd to play. We had a couple towards the end of survival stage, which I think I was quite grateful for, that were more normalized on Erangel at least, when teams could actually play out their games. Enigma Galaxy versus Ida. No idea why this is happening, by the way. It's actually very strange. I'll explain once it's done. I mean, Kalaris already went over it in the interview, but the context is crazy on it. So Ralph with the M249. There's some good shots done. Actually, Enigma Galaxy doing quite well here, but already losing a player does feel bad, and it being Coops is even worse. Taking on the side. Lord hits some shots with Abacan. It's back and forth here. Swain last left to face. Ooh. And Ralph will get it done with the M24. He's screaming!
He's up, he's standing up.
Give them large for that. It is absolutely insane that they continue to come here. For context, Enigma Galaxy has dropped in this location for years upon years upon years. And they say it every time. In fact, they actually say it to the crowd and to all the players, we will never switch our hot drop. So it is never worth it to fight Enigma Galaxy inside of Pachinki. Sadly for them, 4thRives feels like we can get some easy points off the back of this one. You guys just come off a fight. We know you've come off a fight. This is a great read from 4thRives. I actually love this.
Oh, mate, didn't see him on the angle. 4thRives spotting Lord. So as much as there was a pop-off of them defending their home turf on the hot drop, like you say, 4thRives know you're slightly weak. They'll look to get in there, twist the knife, and completely knock them out of the game, denying any more points on this.
I mean, to be honest, you do wonder if 4thRives boys, they see a big hubbub go over to by the Enigma Galaxy camp, and they're like, they've just won that fight.
We should get involved.
We should fly over. Oh, cheeky work, but you got to make the point somehow. Ralph with the M249. Looking for some good damage, but the shouts from the crowd start to ring out. 4thRives might look to back away from this one, allowing Ralph as well as Satan to live another day. Circle did move up towards the northeast side. I don't know what Ida's doing, man. It's akin to throwing away all of your angles.
Yeah, it feels like one of those where it's kind of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
As much as, you know, it's your spot too. If it's not working, you got to adapt. Gigantic prize pool on the line. You fought this hard to be in finals. Don't ego challenge if you don't need to. But for 4thRives, can they find those elims they wanted off the back of this counter play? T24 spotted on the drop. Let's see if he can go for the peak off this. And of course for you, you can get involved with that Naruto event at home.
4T up top. T24, he's got an inkling. Smells him out on this one. Senses his Reiatsu inside the building. Satan underneath. Ooh, slightly slow on the timing there. And T24 tries to use the DBS. He's swinging around in circles. Satan's not sure where to look on this. The rest of Fourth Rise will come into hold. Finds the first. Takes more damage though. Ralph is nowhere nearby to help. Drops him down to 1. And it's an easy revive here on T24 inside the building. Church held.
Then get the revive back on T24. But Ralph's just had to stay, man. It's where he's been for so long.
You'd be furious.
Yeah, he'd be fuming.
You win it twice. You win the hot drop twice back to back. It happens again, it costs you your game. And not even because of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing, it just comes back to haunt you, right? Here we go. This is the full replay on it, so you get all the action. Oh, mate, it's carnage from the start. Obviously, we had Coops go down early, and like you say, they pop off to win it. We saw the celebration from Ralph literally sending a message live in the event, live in the flesh. Said it with his chest. They deserve the drop spot, but Ida don't want to give it up, and it's just really making it uncomfortable for both of those teams to get anything in these games.
It's the best Nick McGalaxy's looked in a long time as well. I think that's the saddest thing about it, and now it's happened in finals. And it's happened so frequently in the past as well, where Nick McGalaxy's just got to challenge another team for their drop spot. It's not guaranteed theirs for sure, but they've held it the entire tournament. Come on, guys.
No fear getting ran down by Aurora, as Top will find him on the move. Fourth Rives did peace out, going slightly deeper into the zone to do a bit of loot, and obviously wasting a decent amount of time on that as well for the elim they were able to garner.
Vitality down towards the southwest, started in Kameshki style, but this time rotating him over towards Gatka, but they grabbed themselves the loot truck. Fiend as much as they can out from there. Circle up towards that north side, split between the lake, Yasnaya on the south side, on School, as well as Severny. Shading range area. Tiamba tighten it in with E-Arena, Aurora, Godlike. Salme currently holding down the gas station, pops up tire. He can't come through here for repairs. He's got no bullets though.
Yeah, only 18 left. One in the clip, 17 in a hole. Let's see if he can turn some bodies cold on this push-up. They drop down back behind the car. So Aurora taking a fair bit of damage. More reserve taps now. Got to find himself some ammo to play with. Switch it out to the Tommy just to keep the pressure on them. Suppressive fire.
Spraying it through, cutting the grass, but not quite finding the shots over towards the players. Next circle, 10 seconds roughly on this one. Aurora still figuring out where they want to play. Probably going to be a big old retreat here out. Migrate for a lot of squads. Hard shift potentially. No, actually. Very, very kind. Up towards that north side. Obviously, Lake is a bit of an awkward one to play around. You're going to see a lot of people playing on the rocky outcrops. The staging that goes up towards Stalba. Big old mountainside. There is also, never mind, it's horrible. I lied to you. It's not great. You got the field down towards Yasnaya too, so there's not a huge amount of fun spots to play in. You have to decide a rotation in now and quickly. Do you wrap on the north? Do you wrap on the south? Because you can't really change that as time goes on because of Yas Lake.
Mormon from E-Arena once again, being able to throw out some big uppercuts. That's back onto Aurora. So single knock there. We have the Tianba POV on